Solewant
Please refresh.
Business Development and Strategy. The country manager, Selma Matthews. Members of the press. Our guests that we've invited here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to speak briefly to Solewant Group, what the group stands for, the journey we have come a long way, 26 years in existence. Solewant started as a mobile coating plant company from site to site, doing coating, protecting assets of the IOCs, and then like you listen to the anthem, the resilience of the founders has brought us into where we are a conglomerate of 6 subsidiaries. As the MC has already told us, Solewant has expanded from a mobile coating plant into a 6 subsidiary, an ecosystem that we are here today to show. And why are we here today? The Ukeneze Oil and Gas is the latest subsidiary of the group, and the good thing is that it is a Namibian owned company. It's not a Nigerian totally owned company. It's an indigenous company for Namibians, and we are here because we felt the need to share the success story of Solewant with the good people of Namibia. The product that we are going to introduce to you, we understand that the Namibian ecosystems as a whole is quite technically, the geotechnical compositions and all of that are quite difficult to resist protection. So the solutions, we're going to let you know what when the GMD starts talking, he will speak to the chemistry around the whole compositions. But the good thing, again, like I want us to know, we are going to watch a documentary that takes us from where the journey started 26 years ago. And then there is a 10-year roadmap plus, Solewant roadmap plus. That is a whole lot of program that has been put together with strategic investment at certain points, one of which is why we're here in Namibia. And Namibia will become a hub for us to walk around the neighboring countries. So you listen to the documentary. At the end, we're going to have an interactive session, so you hear more about what the group stands for. Thank you. I wish you a happy.
Where organizational infrastructure defines the destiny of nations, and where innovation and technology separate leaders from followers. One African business organization is rewriting history. This is the story of Solewant Group, a story of vision, a story of resilience, a story of industrial transformation, engineered from within Africa for Africa. At the dawn of a new millennium, in the year 2000, a bold idea was born. Solewant began a journey, not just to participate in the oil and gas sector, but to transform it. Over 26 years later, that vision has evolved into a fully integrated energy and industrial powerhouse, delivering cutting-edge solutions across energy and water industries at scale, as standard and global relevance, all anchored on one philosophy: people, plants, products, and solutions. At the heart of Solewant's operations lies a world-class industrial ecosystem, strategically located at the Solewant Industrial Area at Lodione, Elame, River State, Nigeria. A sprawling hub of innovation and execution in an area of over 156,000 square meters, where engineering meets precision and ambition meets capacity. Here, Africa's industrial future is being built in real time. A facility powered by multi-layer pipe coating plant, high-performance concrete weight coating plant, steel pipe manufacturing and fabrication facility, pipe bed coating plant, specialty coating and paint manufacturing plant, pipe storage and preservation facility, and a state-of-the-art laboratory designed for quality assurance and innovation. This is not just facility, this is industrial sovereignty. This is Africa. building for Africa, where global standards are not merely implemented, they are redefined. Solewant Group operates through 6 strategically aligned subsidiaries, each one a specialized engine driving excellence across the energy value chain. Solewant Nigeria Limited, delivering advanced pipe coating solutions at scale that include fusion-bonded epoxy coating, polyethylene, and polypropylene pipe coating solutions. Flip Joint Coatings Limited, providing protection and solutions on pipeline girth wells and ensuring integrity at the pipeline joint. Solewant Specialty Protective Coatings and Paints, redefining, formulating industrial protective coatings and paints technologies. Pipes and Metals Industries Limited, engineering, fabrication, and infrastructure solutions. Solewant Energy Training Institute, SETI, developing Africa's energy workforce. And Ukemezi Africa Energy Limited, expanding Solewant's footprints to oil and gas exploration and drilling across the continent. Together, they form a seamless, integrated value chain, from concept to construction to capacity development. This is not fragmentation, this is precision engineered synergy. In 2025, Solewant achieved a defining milestone, the commissioning of Africa's automated pipe bend coating plant, a groundbreaking innovation designed to handle complex pipeline geometrics once dependent on foreign expertise. Now delivered in Nigeria, sustainably, competitively. This is modern technology. This is capacity cutting-edge science. This is independence. This is industrial leadership. But Solewant's vision does not stop at national frontiers. From Nigeria to Namibia, from West Africa to Southern Africa, the group is expanding, building partnerships, enabling local capacity, and driving industrial integration across the continent. Over the years, Solewant has earned the trust of global energy leaders: Total Energy, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Shell, and LNG, Renaissance Africa Energy, delivering critical infrastructure projects from pipeline coating to fabrication, from emergency repairs to large-scale industrial execution, and over 120 key oil and gas projects were successfully completed. This is not potential, this is proven performance. At Solewant, quality is not a process, it is a culture driven by international certifications, aligned with global standards, and reinforced by strict compliance and continuous improvement systems. This commitment has earned Solewant global recognitions, including Champion of Local Content, Best Oil and Gas Contractor Awards in Nigeria, Africa, in the United States, and in the United Kingdom, international recognition at the House of Lords, London, and industry recommendations across Africa and beyond. But beyond recognition, the true measure is capability. Solewant is not just executing projects, it is shaping conversations. Through the Solewant Journal of Energy Innovation, advancing research and technical thought leadership. The Solewant Africa Energy Summit, convening policymakers, investors, and industry leaders. Strategic global engagement, driving Africa's voice in the global energy dialogue. This is influence beyond operations. This is intellectual leadership. At the core of this transformation lies one critical truth. Nations are not built by infrastructure alone. They are built by people. This is where the Solewant Energy Training Institute SETI comes in. A world-class capacity building platform designed to deliver industry-relevant technical training, provide globally aligned certifications, bridge critical skills gaps in Africa's energy sector, develop the next generation of engineers, technicians, and leaders. SETI is not just training professionals, it is building nations. Today, Solewant Group stands at the intersection of innovation, infrastructure, and impact. A company that has evolved from local relevance to continental influence to global recognition. A company that proves one undeniable truth: Africa has the capacity, Africa has the capability, Africa has the future. Solewant Group, building capacity, building infrastructure, and building nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed a beautiful documentary. as we continue, I promise that we'll keep our program very short and yet very informative. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. That is, of course, for the group CEO as well as General Manager, Mr. Solomon Ewanehi, to give us the welcome remarks and the overview of the Solewant Group, their visions in the Namibian market, and commitment to creating value through people, plants, products. He will also continue with the official unveiling and presentation of our 11 modified SSPCs and paints products. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Solomon Ewanehi. I'm the group CEO of Solewant Group. It's supposed to be a welcome speech or an opening remarks, but I would like to let us know that it is very critical we understand the reason for which we are here. For those of us that are online and also those who of course are here in the conference room. Last year we were here and we promised ourselves that we were going to come back here this year with something new and something different, and exactly what we are doing right now. So I want to thank you for the support that you are giving to Solewant Group here in Namibia. Can we put our hands together for ourselves again? It is a profound honor to stand before you today in Windhoek at what, of course, I believe is an extraordinary moment, not only for Namibia, but for Africa. It is important for us to note that we're not just here to have this conference and leave, because a number of persons have joined us online. We equally will move from here to visit other Namibian government agencies. So, but permit me to let us understand that, yes, because of Namibian Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition that is starting tomorrow, we're having this pre-event meeting, and also for us to have a roundtable conversation concerning Africa, not just about Namibia, not about Nigeria, but it is good we understand where we are coming from to enable us to delve into the theme of this year's NOGC 2026, which of course has a theme from decision to dividend, making Namibians oil work for Namibians. This theme for me is something we have to take very seriously. Last year at the 9th Solewant Energy Summit, I launched a book, and that book is talking about unlocking African energy future. Practical strategies that we must take as practitioners for us to be successful. And so many things that we are doing are things that are backed up with a lot of impossibilities. And for us in Solewant, for the past 26 years, we have applied those practical steps, and we see those things that are not working to be what has become the Solewant story of success. So it is important that we also understand that we've got to share the story. So the words that are contained in this theme this year is very, very vital. For me, we're discussing about Namibia, and we cannot take this conference away from what we are currently having. It's like a side meeting of the NOGC event. So because finding oil and benefiting from the oil are not the same thing, it is important that we discover oil, but what would be the benefit? Last year, I gave a keynote speech here at the conference, and I told us the Nigerian story, which is very critical and important. That we have oil in the ground does not automatically translate to wealth. That your father bequeaths some property, infrastructure to you does not make you to be a wealthy person. You've got to sustain what you have. You've got to take it to another level. How do we make it an institution? What are the benefits we are to derive from the euphoria, or rather the story of this discovery? So it is important. This is the reason that we have to look at what we are here for. What will Namibia oil produce for Namibia? Will it produce experienced engineers? Are we going to raise supply chain management companies who of course are experienced after the discovery, when the project would have been executed? What about the infrastructure? What about the sustainability of this infrastructure? Are we going to talk about technology that will be transferred just living here? It's happening to us in other parts of Africa. We are sharing over 69 years of experience as a country. So we need to understand this. And for those who, of course, had trade yesterday and, of course, this morning, we share story of what can happen to us in the future if we take what we are doing now very seriously. So Namibia is entering the petroleum industry with something many African producers did not have when their journey began. It is very, very important. We had no this experience. So we have to learn from making mistakes. And these are not what you want to pass through. You must learn from where we are coming from. Nigeria has produced oil for more than 69 years, like I said. Angola has built major offshore petroleum industry. Ghana has traveled from discovery now into production. I was in Accra to deliver this kind of speech, and they needed me to equally talk to the entrepreneurs and those who, of course, are growing the industry, what they will need to benefit in transforming the Ghana God's-given natural resource. Mozambique has confronted the opportunities and complexity of developing major gas resources. Across Africa, countries have experimented the local content, supplier development, training, technology transfer, infrastructure, fiscal policy, industrial participation. Some approaches succeeded and some failed. Some models were built, some succeeded. Some started in a classroom, talk show, some conferences were held, whether at OTC, ADIPEC, even at our local level, just like Solewant. This year we are organizing the 10th Africa Oil and Gas Summit, 10 Energy Summit. We started in 2016. I remember for 2 factories that we just launched, 2025, and this year, last month, we just launched the Solewant coating manufacturing plant and unveiled 11 key products. As a matter of fact, we are all benefits that we derive from the summit in our collaboration with the academia. The university scholars noted what we are doing, invited us, discussed with us, and we have been able to work with them, with our research and development team, and today we are unveiling yet another 11 product to take care of our critical infrastructure within Africa and in Africa, just like what you can see in any part of the globe. Namibia does not have to start this learning at zero, so you have to start with something. So it is very, very critical we understand this. So we come from this background as a member of Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN. We do not discuss patronage, we discuss competence, we discuss infrastructure that we've been able to put together. As a product of Nigeria Content and Monitoring Board, we have gone through the road of moving from initiative to directive by NNPC and to the act that was signed into law 2010. And in 2016, we commissioned our first plant, the Solewant pipe coating plant, which is adjudged the largest pipe coating plant in Africa. And in 2017-2018, we commissioned the second factory, Solewant concrete weight coating plant. Pipe and metal manufacturing facility, our ultra-modern laboratory, which of course take care of quality assurance and quality control system. Then last year, we commissioned our pipe bend coating plant, which of course provide protection for irregular shapes of pipelines, which normally were imported up until last year. And as we speak, Shell, Renaissance, Chevron, LLNG are currently patronizing that solution, which of course is also very handy for Namibia and other Africa countries to utilize that solution that we put in place. Year 2014, in one of our strategy meetings, we asked ourselves one critical question. Why would Nigeria in Africa over the years still be importing all critical coatings that are required to protect our very important assets? Yet, we are a people who, of course, can sit, design, formulate, and manufacture this coating system. Within the room, we are not able to answer the question. But of course, that gave rise to the 6 companies that Dr. Ben, who bless the justice, read to us. Solewant Nigeria Limited, Solewant Specialty Protected Coatings and Paints Limited, Field Joint Coating Limited, Pipe and Metal Industry Limited, Solewant Energy Trading Institute, and Solewant Africa Energy Limited. With each of these companies specializing in the area and contributing their quota across the various value chain. So, in July 31st, 2026, last month, we unveiled and commissioned our coating manufacturing plants and unveiled these 11 products, which of course we are also bringing to Namibia to unveil this new product line. And this is the reason for which we are here today in the room and around Namibia. And the roadshow, we go to NAPCO, NTA, and other government agencies within Namibia. So, this story that I've just read to us it's important that we understand the background. So why I talked about the book. In one of the chapters, I talked about the science of mindset, which of course has kept some of us the way we think in Africa and not moving the way other Asian tigers and other parts of the globe are moving. And that is what I term as fixed mindset. Rather than generate the growth mindset, we are where we are. So I finished the book by November this year, when we will be organizing the 10th Africa Energy Summit. I will equally be launching that new book to add value to what we are currently building across African continent. That it is possible. That we feel that it's not possible is possible when we translate those things that we put down, policies, into action, and ensuring that infrastructure will not just develop Africa.
Where?
The human capacity development is very critical. So we have to understand it by developing the mindset of the workforce to ensuring that things that we feel is not possible, with that growth mindset, it is very, very possible. So instead of discovering after the first oil that is technical skill mixing and identify them now, Namibia is at the threshold to understand that we have to start building the infrastructure around what was discovered before the production starts. So technology transfer is key. Human capacity development is important, and the Nigeria experience should not become just the blueprints that we are going to translate. It should become part of the head starts. And if one African country has already paid for a lesson, another African country should not have to pay for full price of the same lesson again. So it's important that we understand this. That is how Africa experience become African advantage. Hindsight tells us what we can learn from the past. Foresight requires us to understand what is coming. And when we look at Africa over the next 10 years, the scale of what is coming is extraordinary. And for me, it's mind-boggling. Africa today is approximately 1.5 billion people. By around 2035, it is estimated to approach 1.8 billion. Nearly 1 billion people will be living in African cities. And today, approximately 600 million Africans still live without electricity. Mind problem. What can you do without electricity? Think about what this figure actually means. Hundreds of millions of additional people will require electricity, water, housing, transport, cooling, refrigeration, communication, schools, hospital, roads, and jobs. Cities will require power, water treatment, water, wastewater system, of course, effluent discharge ponds, ports, logistics, industrial infrastructure. So when we look at Africa from 2026 to 2036, I do not simply see a continent with infrastructure deficits. What I see is one of the world's largest infrastructure demand stories. Africa is in the next decade will be an infrastructure built out. So the scale is enormous. So the analysis indicates that Africa power investment require approximately $64 billion every year to develop our infrastructure if we must grow and run with those who, of course, are not waiting for us, because the world can never wait for us. And we are in a hurry to catch up with the rest of other continents. So this is what we need every year. And this is not simply about building more generating capacity. Generation alone does not create functioning electricity system. Africa needs generation, transmission, distribution, storage, meters, control system, and productive customer capable of paying for that electricity. Now consider water. Approximately 400 million Africans still lack basic drinking water. At the same time, our urban population is moving towards 1 billion. That means enormous requirement for water treatment plants, pumping station, reservoir, distribution network. Wastewater treatment, refuse, and particularly in water-constrained coastal regions, desalination and every one of those systems require more than water infrastructure. It requires energy. It requires pipes, pumps, motors, electricity, automation valves, electrical system, automation valves, materials, corrosion protection, engineering, maintenance, and decade of operation. This is why we cannot think about Africa's infrastructure sector by sector. Systems are connected.
See the dance. Is it them dance?
Power, gas, water industry. This is perhaps one of the most important conclusions from our analysis, and the strongest long-term opportunity are not necessarily isolated power projects or isolated gas projects or isolated water projects. The strongest opportunity emerges when we connect. So we have to connect and have electricity to power our various industries. What I'm discussing here has to do with energy, because with energy you are able to do more, and with energy you have life. I was discussing with the young ladies this morning that energy is key. So we'll be discussing energy this week all through. So for us to be in the room, we need to put on our thinking cap and understand that we have the future. So this is where I believe Namibia should think boldly. Let's not look at the offshore petroleum as an isolated sector, but we look at the economic system that we can develop around it. We have to look at the port. How useful is this port to Namibia? We have to look at power, fabrication, engineering, maintenance, asset integrity, coating protection, industrial services, technical education, manufacturing, because one thing with us is everything that we have, we need to ship abroad, and we import every other thing that has to do with technology, finished products. Manufacturing is not in our business, then we run the risk of continuing where we are coming from. Like I gave the story of those who, of course, discovered oil a long time ago. So we must avoid that. A capability developed to protect petroleum pipeline can also protect water infrastructure. When a capability developed for protection can serve the mining industry. So we need to look at the capability that will be created around petroleum can migrate across the entire ecosystem. So what should it be built? as a country by ourselves in Namibia? What should Namibia develop through partnership? What capability already exists within our country? We need to look at this. Where are Namibian developing the capability from? Can we start by partnering? Can we look at the area of sourcing engineering, and later on, depending on what we have learned through the experience of one project to the other? Capital, technology, standards, training, which of course will be at the heart of what we will be looking at the first oil that will be coming up. So we need this electricity to power the industry. So do we also need molecules and electrons? There is reality we should address openly. Africa infrastructure transformation requires both rapid expansion for low carbon power and continued oil and gas infrastructure. Africa oil demand today is approximately 4.9 million barrels per day. Why does oil remain important? Very critical, because road freight moves goods, aircraft connect city because of the same oil, construction machinery build infrastructure, mining fleets extract mineral, buses transport millions of people, industry require process heat, petrochemical require feedstock, and households still require modern cooking fuel. At the same time, gas can support dispatchable electricity, fertilizer, industrial heat, petrochemicals, and industrial parks. So, the future should not just to reduce to a forced choice. We do need the molecules, and Africa need the electron, gas, oil, hydro, solar, wind, storage, transmission, distribution. The different technology will perform different function, and the objective must be reliable, affordable, and progressively lower carbon energy that enable economic development. This is where Namibia will need to understand and position, because it possesses both emerging hydrocarbon resources and exceptional renewable energy potential. These opportunities do not have to compete. They can reinforce one another. They are interlinked and interwoven. What are the opportunities behind these numbers? Our analysis suggests that around 2035, Africa annual demand for iron and steel tubes, pipes, hollow profile could be approximately 2.8 million tons per year. And the reason is because Africa needs oil and gas pipelines. It has to have that pipeline network. It's like the artery that drives the human physiology, the human body system. Gas network, water distribution system, large water transfer system, power plants, industrial parks, mines, refinery, petrochemical plants, ports, LNG, and the likes. But every kilometer of infrastructure represents much more than steel. It represents engineering, welding and fabrication, inspection, quality assurance, and quality control systems. From local content to competitive capability. Like I said, we're going to be given a platform by the policy that will drive the production of the crude oil. But we have to understand one critical fact, which is local content must not be translated to mean patronage. It has to do with what we are able to offer and generate results. So local content and local capability are not necessarily the same thing. It is possible to achieve percentage on paper without building a competitive industry. The objective should not therefore be localization at any cost. The objective should be competitive Namibian capability. Companies that meet international standards for quality, safety, delivery, cost, and technical performance. Namibian engineers can work anywhere in the world when trained because of the discovery of the oil. Namibian businesses capable only for winning contracts here, but when they get to Angola, they are also able to excel and even outpace the Nigerian company or Angolan company. That is the kind of company that should emerge from this various discussion. This is the fourth of this conference, and we'll be coming here, and it cannot be the mere talk show, but they must translate to tangible infrastructure and equally developing the human capacity. So this takes me to the Solewant story that was shared earlier, which of course we have seen for the past 26 years. The journey has been one movement to the other. Where we started by providing sales of coating material and applying that same materials to critical infrastructure, from application to fabrication, from fabrication to owning factories. And from developing factories, we now have 156,000 square meters where housing polyethylene and polypropylene pipe coating plants, concrete way coating plants, pipe bend coating plants, coating manufacturing plants, ultra-modern quality assurance and quality control center in one industrial park. February 2025, we convened and discussed and agreed that across Africa, we will be industrializing most of the area that we have identified to have industry and replicating the industrial parks across Africa. And that is the Solewant story for the roadmap plus. And the next point of call is Namibia. We have already identified areas. By next year, when we are going to converge here, we would like to assure us that one of the factories would have been in place running, not just training engineers this time around, but with Namibia engineers participating in the production of the oil and gas. We are discussing with government agencies, and we have come to that advanced stage of taking this conversation to the level where we are right now. So, one capability led to another. Pipe coating solution led to deeper discussion and asset protection. Asset protection led to specialty coatings. Technical requirement led to pipe and metal fabrication and production and process plant maintenance. Projects created engineering experience. Experience created institutional knowledge, and the need for qualified people led us to deeper training, the reason for which SETI was bettered. And SETI today is currently handling training of manpower developing capacity, not just in Nigeria, across Africa. And there's a story I like to also share here that was an experience that we have in Nigeria, which is building infrastructure and equipment. We can import equipment, but capability cannot. That is the fact. This is why human capital must sit at the center of the Namibian strategy. Dr. Ben Ogleble has discussed extensively with NTA, the ambassador, and we are now at advanced stage to ensure that we are not just moving to the deep offshore. We will have the necessary training, the backup certification, and ensure that that human capacity that we require in the development of the FPSO and various activities that will be happening at the deep offshore will be provided by hands-on persons who, of course, have the training, the experience in the classroom, in the field, and also to be able to give back to Africa. So it is important that we learn from this. So for Namibia, training should therefore not begin by asking what courses can we offer. It should begin with what capability will Namibia require over the next 10 years. We will ask ourselves that critical question. Then it is important that we are moving towards the road of success that we are looking for. So that would be how training will become industrial policy. Now it will take us to 5 foundations. First, the people. Second, competitive supply system. The fourth one, technology partnership and finance. Because technically competent Namibian company that cannot finance equipment, working capital, guarantee, or project execution cannot participate meaningfully in multi-billion-dollar industry. Like the Venus project, the FID currently be taking is within the neighborhood of 12 to 15 billion US dollars. So this is huge. And conversation like this and partnership will help to ensure that we are all participating and partnering with those who, of course, operate the construction of the FPSO and production of the first oil that will come out from there in 2029. So from Namibian capability to African capability, the number mentioned earlier tells us why the 1.8 billion African, nearly 1 billion urban residents, around $64 billion per year of power investment requirement, millions of tons of annual pipes that are required demands. We need to be part of this conversation. An enormous requirement for water, energy, transport, mining, industrial infrastructure. The demand will exist. Strategic question is, who will supply this infrastructure? We Africans coming from infrastructure built out, result primarily in another generation of imported industrial capability? Because if we do not take it seriously, we keep importing that capability into various African countries. And that is why we have to team up, sit down, discuss, and engage, and continually look for solutions around how we are able to develop various infrastructure we have in Africa. This is why Namibia should build companies not only for Namibia, build engineers here who can work in Angola, build specialists here who can work in Mozambique, build companies here that can compete in South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, build capability here that can eventually severe projects from here to Luanda, to Lagos, Maputo. The journey should be local participation, to local capability, to regional competitiveness, to African exports and the wider African market. How much Namibian value can Namibian retain? From this conversation, we will be able to determine how much retention of this value after discovery and when production starts. The dividend. This is why I believe we should think about 4 dividends from Namibian petroleum era. The first is fiscal dividends, taxes, royalties, government revenue, necessary but not enough. The second is industrial dividend, companies, infrastructure, factories, technology, supply chain, productive capacity. The third is human dividend, engineers, technicians, managers, entrepreneurs, knowledge institution. And the fourth is African dividend. When capabilities created in Namibia become strong enough to create value across the continent, that is when the local content completes its transformation into industrial competitiveness. What will the barrel produce? What will Namibian oil ultimately produce? Years from now, will we know these answers that I just asked us? Will the barrel count? Will we calculate the revenue? Will we measure production? But history will apply much bigger measure. Just like I asked us, what was the experience of Angola, Namibia? Angola, Nigeria, and of course, Ghana. Why did those barrels produce above the ground? Did they produce engineers? Sorry, what will those barrels produce above the ground give to the Namibians? Will they produce experienced engineers? Will they produce experienced technicians, experienced technocrats? Will the infrastructure be built? Will they be sustained even if they are built? Just like we have litany of refineries, we are not able to sustain refineries, but again, it's been proven that yes, within the African continent, it is possible that we can actually do it when we have the zeal to put this solution that I just highlighted into practice. Did they create companies capable of exporting expertise across Africa? And did they leave the next generation with an economy more capable than one that existed before the oil was discovered? The first dividend comes from extracting the resource. The lasting dividend comes from decision we make around it. The human factor and human capability can compound for generation. Resource is finite. Capability built from this does not have to be. So let us judge Namibia's petroleum era only by what Namibia extracts. Let us judge it by what Namibia builds. Let us not merely build an oil industry in Namibia. Let us build Namibian industry capability through oil. And let Namibia ambition be greater than becoming Africa's next petroleum producer. Let Namibia become an African model for transforming natural resource into national capability, industrial strength, and enduring prosperity. And if that is what we have, then perhaps the greatest discovery in Namibia make this petroleum era to be ultimately be what lies beneath the Atlantic. It will be what Namibia discovered is capable of building what we require. That is how the hindsight becomes foresight. And that is how resources become capability. And that is how we move from decision to the dividend that we yearn for. That is my presentation for the reason for which we have to understand that there has to be dividend behind the decision that we're taking today. Thank you very much. Now, I asked us a question earlier when I asked, our critical assets are protected, but it never dawned on us that we need to look at where this protection is coming from. Oftentimes we depend on the very sensitive material that protects the critical assets are being brought in from the foreign countries. But within Africa, we've been able to look at them critically over the years, research on them, and came up with 11 products, which of course we are unveiling today. And these 11 products are in these various categories. Number one of them is Solguard Emulsion Paints. This is a premium quality water-based acrylic emulsion paint formulated for interior and exterior surfaces. It provides excellent hiding power, high waterness, good adhesion, water resistant, and long-lasting decorative protection. The second formulation that we also designed, that we are manufacturing right now, is Solguard Matte Paints. It's a premium quality water-based acrylic matte emulsion paint formulated to provide smooth, non-reflective decorative finish for interior, exterior surfaces. It offers excellent hiding power, good adhesion, superior whiteness, low odor, and excellent durability. The third product that we designed, formulated, that we are manufacturing within the Solewant Group is Solguard Silk Paints. It's a premium quality water-based acrylic silk paint formulated to produce smooth, luscious, medium sheen finish to interior and exterior surfaces. It combines excellent hiding power, superior washability, stain resistant, good durability, with an elegant silk appearance suitable for residential, commercial, and institutional buildings. And the fourth product that we formulated, that we are producing right now, is Solguard Acid Gloss Enamel Coating. It's a quality single component acid-based paint formulated to provide durable, high gloss, protective finish for interior and exterior surfaces. The fifth product is Solguard Red Oxide Metal Primer, designed, formulated, that we are manufacturing in Nigeria, in Africa. It's a quality single component acid-based anti-corrosive primer formulated with high-grade red oxide pigment, anti-corrosive standards, and selected additive to provide excellent adhesion. And the sixth product that we formulated, that we are manufacturing in Nigeria, within Africa, which of course we are by extension extending to Namibia, is Solguard Zinc Rich Epoxy Primer. It's a two-component high performance zinc rich epoxy protective coating formulated high purity metallic zinc dust to provide exceptional and sacrificial corrosion protection. This is very resistant to ultraviolet. Then the seventh product is Solguard High Build Epoxy Coat. It's a two-component high build epoxy protective coating formulated from liquid bisphenol A epoxy resin, polyamide, curing agent, providing superior corrosion protection, excellent adhesion, high mechanical strength, long-term durability. Then the eighth product is Solguard Acrylic Polyurethane Coat. It is a two-component finish coat formulated for long-term protection, formulated with a hydroxide functional acrylic polyol resin to produce a high gloss, ultraviolet resistant coating with exceptional weatherability, color retention, and chemical resistance. The ninth product is Novaguard 100% solid epoxy coating and is a volatile organic compound free coating system. It's a two-component system, solvent free, high build epoxy fast curing protective coating formulated to produce superior corrosion protection, abrasive resistant, chemical resistant coating. This coating contain, like I said, zero volatile organic compound cures to form a durable seamless protective barrier. The third product is Novaguard 100% solid polyurethane coating system. A two-component system is solvent-free, fast-curing protective coating formulated to provide excellent ultraviolet resistance, high gloss retention, abrasion resistance, long-term durability. Then the 11th product is Solewant Novaguard 100% solid polyurea coating. Normally, of course, for industrial frock coating, effluent discharge pond, and the likes. It is a two-component system, solvent-free, fast-curing protective coating formulated to provide exceptional waterproofing, abrasion resistant, high impact resistant, high temperature resistant, and apply to area that is highly corrosive, and this coating is able to resist these three key properties that I mentioned. And these products are the products we are about to unveil right now, and they are here on the screen. As Dr. Ben places it, you just see the products that we just unveiled. Ladies and gentlemen, you can stand up while we unveil these products together.
Experience premium performance. Protection that matters.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Yes.
Can we please give them another round of applause? A journey that started a couple of years ago and now marking or coming into the Namibian market. This is the opportunity where we as Namibians have the opportunity to ask the relevant questions, and while the leadership is here, to maybe get a deeper understanding apart from the technicalities. Let me maybe start. My first question would be, why Namibia? What opportunities that Solewant Group see in this market, and what influenced that decision? The second question, beyond introducing your products, what tangible values will Solewant Group bring to Namibia in terms of local partnerships, employment, skills development, and knowledge transfer? Maybe let's take the two questions and then open it up to the floor.
Thank you. Standing on existing protocols. The questions are, when I was coming in yesterday, was it day before yesterday, I met a lady at the airport and she asked me the same question.
Okay.
Why Namibia? Namibia is Africa. And our drive and push is for Africa. Namibia just discovered oil recently. This is the time not to make mistakes. We are not just here to sell products. We are here to build human capacity, share experiences. Failures we suffered back in Nigeria, exploitations we suffered there, telling us things are not possible. This 26 years in business, and we were told what we are doing today is not possible by any black man. That was the thing we were told. But after 26 years, you could see the story. Namibians can replicate the same story. There are capacities here. The lady I met at the airport told me her husband works in Nigeria. And I said, it is time to deploy that experience back here and train others because oil has been discovered. What are we bringing? We are not just bringing services, we are bringing infrastructures. Like the group managing director spoke to us. We are in discussions with government agencies. We need places to install these capacities. And we are working fast on that. And we believe after this NOGC, by the next NOGC, by the big manufacturer, we will see an infrastructure here working in the oil and gas industry. Nigerians will be, Namibians will be employed, Namibians will be trained, not just trained to work, but equally trained to begin to partner and start their thing. It's all about collaboration. There is no takeover in Nigeria content. There is no takeover in Namibia content. We come to partner and collaborate and guide as many as we want to in the direction where we have come through. They should learn from our 26 years experience and cut it short. If you want to go a long haul, look for people who have been through what you went through. Then your journey will be shorter. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to open the floor for anybody with questions. I'll bring the microphone to you. Please simply just introduce yourself and what company you're coming before posting your question. Thank you.
Hi, it's Xavier Nadeau, coming in my personal capacity currently. I love the idea, love the approach, and I love what you said in the sense that Africa is our home, so we should be driving her growth. Nonetheless, back to the point I wanted to ask is that you indicated by next year we should be looking at infrastructure and working with locals to reach the goal. How can local companies approach you, or work with you alongside to achieve this goal? You know, that's basically my question.
Can I go? Thank you. While the group managing director was making his welcome address, we engaged the Namibian ambassador in Nigeria. He's giving us a lot of information and connected us to some of the people here. Our being here is to be available to the Namibian industry. Entrepreneurs that are here that want to partner with us, we are available at any point in time. We are available. Like you said, we are a product of Nigeria content. And we want Namibians to see the same thing. That's why we are here. Thank you.
Anybody else with a question? Okay.
Hello, my name is Sorena, journalist from Informante. You spoke about infrastructural development, and I see companies' main focus is on infrastructure as well as paints. I mean, more specialized paints, I guess, for the oil industry. What would you say is Namibia's needs with regard financial needs with regards to developing this infrastructure before we start producing the oil, and what would you say are maybe the most critical challenges we face?
We passed through the same experience in Nigeria, financial. And we have the support. And thank God for banks not advertising anyway, the DFIs. They are available to support the Namibian entrepreneurs. Because these infrastructures, they cost a lot of money. It is not something you build overnight. But if you stand on the shoulder of a man, you see further than that man. We want Namibians to stand on our shoulder so that they can see further than we have seen and know what to do. We will guide, we will support. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Somewhat.
We will guide, we will support. We want Namibians to climb on our shoulder and see further than we are seeing. Thank you.
All right, are there other questions? So we perceive the conversations were very clear.
I would say, like the GMD has said, infrastructures don't build themselves. People build infrastructure. And we are here to support, to build the people that will drive the infrastructure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we definitely came to the end of our program. So we promised it to be very short and informative, but then we would like to invite you all for a light refreshment that will be served just outside the conferencing facility, and this will give us the opportunity, because I know everybody might be sitting with a question and you still are thinking about whether to ask it at this platform, but we will have a networking session and then we can ask all the questions there, and make sure to exchange numbers, network, and get informed. I believe let's just do all the official protocols. Let's have the closing remarks, and then thereafter we will have the light refreshments, and then thereafter the roadshow will commence, where they will be visiting different stakeholders, government officials in the Namibian sector. Thank you. Let's welcome Dr. Ben Obleble to just give us the closing remarks.
Good afternoon once again. It's been a very great opportunity for us to be here. We are Africans. The continent belongs to us. We have to take responsibility to sustaining it. I'm a Christian, and I believe in the tenets of Genesis chapter 1 from verse 43, when after the beautiful work that God did, he gave an ordinance that we should take dominion upon the earth, we should subdue it and conquer it. It has been misconstrued in so many literature to mean to destroy the resources of the earth. What that means is we are partners in co-creation. God has finished his own part. It is our responsibility to continue with the work of creation. That is what entrepreneurs do. They create value, they create products and services like what we have showcased today. We have brought you here, you have listened. I want to thank each and every one of us. Some of you were here before 10 a.m. Your patience, your diligence, your commitment to listen to us, it shows the determination that we Africans, we are resolute and we have to achieve and conquer our continent. I want to thank each and every one of us that you've found time to be here to listen to us. Your endeavors, your private endeavors, they shall go rewarded, because our God is a God that rewards efforts. Thank you once again. As we go out, we invite you to pass the message across. You have heard, but if you don't extend it beyond these halls, the objectives that we have displayed here will remain with us. Pass the word of mouth message. We will be at the exhibition from tomorrow. We will participate actively. We have presence here in Namibia. Our country manager is here. You can discuss with her, and then we see how we go forward. Thank you, and don't go without taking something from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Rosa Shikoha, and I will see you again. Adios.
Thank you.
Solewant Group has excelled in manufacturing of steel pipes